I think there's been a culture change in Britain that people these days expect us to meet the inflation target because we've got an independent Bank of England which keeps things stable. The fact is 10, 20 years ago, people assumed inflation was going to be much higher. That then went into wages. It was a self-defeating circle. Those days are gone. We're going to keep things stable.
Well, are they gone? Because we're now back to an inflation level that is as high as it was, as high as it's been since 1991. Why has it gone wrong in Britain? What other major economy at the moment is inflation higher?
Hang on a sec. Inflation today is 3%.
Right.
Back in 1990, 1989, it was above 10%.
No, but what other major economy?
25%.
No, but nevertheless, relative to other countries now, our inflation is higher than every other major developed economy. Correct?
And you know that
correct.
If you look at this month's figures, you're right.
Yeah.
The reason is because the inflation impact happened earlier, and in America, inflation peaked last year at 4.7%.
Now 2%.
It's come down.
The Eurozone is 2.1%.
And it's going to come down.
It's 9 points less than us. France, it's 1.6%. Germany, 1.5%. And by the way, the Americans calculate inflation differently, so the comparison is different. Whereas the Europeans do it exactly the same as the CPI. That's why you changed it. The Netherlands, 1.6%. Even Italy, synonymous with inflation, 2%. Even Ireland, which is booming, 2.4%. Britain, with modest growth, 3% on your measure, 4.4% on everybody else's. Why has it gone wrong in Britain and not elsewhere? 3/4 of banks around the world have raised interest rates, and more have raised them by more than Britain. So the fact is that other countries are having to be acting as well. Look, you are probably the best informed of the TV presenters on the economy. You know that when I say things are fundamentally different today from 10, 20 years ago, I'm right. The oil shock in the 1970s, inflation went to 25%.
No, I understand. 1989, interest rates were at 15%.
I understand.
It's fundamentally changed, and we're going to keep it that way.
I have to tell you that my colleague here has actually written a textbook on economics, which is more than I've ever done. And so,
Andrew, can we talk about the politics?
Just briefly, and then because we've got something more important.
No, I mean, what's fascinating is this. I remember in the old
Paddy.
days when I was working quite closely with the government, 1997, 1998, a very, very senior Labour figure said to me, Tony's strategy is to leave Gordon in place until the economy goes bad, and then hand over to him. And lo and behold, it's happening. And